to Drama in Life. We're hanging out here late at night, excited to be able to record this episode and just talk to you about life and updates that have happened so far. A couple things we're going to touch base on. I know one that we're going to talk about is broken window. That was interesting. Flooded toilet. That was interesting. And also escape room with a 9-month-old and a 5-year-old. That was interesting too. So, yeah. So that's that's some of the pieces we're going to be talking about. Tonight it is late. We finally got home and got the kids to bed, and we're like, we're going to record this. Come hell or high water. And
well, we basically...
High water happened the other day, so we should be good today.
Well, we're going to... Okay, we might as well start with that story
We're
first.
going to record what? Thursday?
We're going to record Thursday night.
Right.
And
that didn't happen?
Because we knew, like, this weekend, there was a possibility we were going to go to Disney a lot because, you know, nice weather, all that. It did not happen.
The recording did not happen.
The recording
Disney
did not
happened.
happen.
The recording did not happen.
Disney, yeah.
Yes. This got shoved to the back burner.
Yeah, because basically...
This is the one thing that gets shoved around everywhere in our schedule that we have not figured out
in
yet.
one sense, we had this plan and it was going perfectly. Like, we were on track to get the girls down even a little bit earlier, like everything. And all of a sudden, I'm getting,
Oh yeah, this is Thursday.
Yeah, I gave like our 5-year-old a shower because I washed her hair. So I was like getting her out of the shower, and all I hear...
And I'm washing the 9-month-old.
Yeah, you're finishing giving Bella
a little wiggle worm.
Bath.
And so I come down... I think I set her down because she was playing for a second, and I came down to heat up her bottle.
Yeah, I think she was like in the floor.
No, I was holding her because I dropped her in the bath in the.
Oh yeah, so you
bathroom.
grabbed her, so you were coming down with her to like.
So I was coming down, and I came over to the sink, and I was getting water for her bottle, and then all of a sudden I just hear like water, and at first it sounded like a sink, and I was like, "That's weird. I'm pretty sure Sophia's upstairs." And I like walk around the corner, and the toilet is like up to the top, and it's just overflowing. I'm like, that's weird. But it wasn't just like overflowing in that moment. It was like it had already been overflowing. There was already like a half-inch of water across the bathroom. So I ran upstairs because I had the 9-month-old.
All
I ran upstairs.
I hear is like, Kayla. I'm like, what is happening?
Just like, take the baby.
And he was like, you got to take the baby. I was like, is everything okay? Like, I was like, did something happen with Bella? Like, is she okay? Like, all I heard was this like, Kayla. And I was like, he was like, the downstairs bathroom is flooded. And I was like, what? I was like, did somebody flush it? Like, what is happening?
It wasn't even clogged. Like, it was just like water. Whenever I'd like washed some stuff in the sink, and then whenever they'd had the bath upstairs, like it just like it was that water. So it was like dirty water, but it wasn't like poop. But it was like water.
So we
were
just like
flooding.
Okay.
So I dropped Bella in the bathroom with you two, and come back down, grab towels, start doing like damage control, shut off the water because I thought that was the problem.
Right.
And it was not the problem. And
you contacted our neighbor.
It kept flooding. So I have like some 5-gallon buckets. So I grab 5-gallon buckets. I'm just like scooping the water out, throwing it out the front door, running back in, scooping the water out, throwing it out the front door. People outside are probably like, why is this guy bailing water out of his house? But yeah, it was because of the toilet. But anyways, it was because of all the water everywhere else in the house was running through the entire house, and it was backing up that one line, and that toilet was the last line to the actual the city, like main water line.
Yeah, we figured this out, like, because we were like, okay, maybe there is something like clogged in the toilet, like we don't know.
Yeah, I was like trying to like plunge it, thinking that something was stuck there.
And so once we got that done, we got the girls in bed. We were just like, okay, we'll just leave the water off. Well, all of a sudden, like I'm like doing a load of towels because we pretty much used like half of our towels, and the other half was in the bathroom. And so I'm doing a load of our towels, and then he starts like running the sink.
Then I started washing dishes. I was like, okay, like we're just gonna leave it for a minute
because we need to run the dishwasher, like all that stuff.
So I like start washing dishes, and then I hear like gurgle. Yeah,
he hears gurgle, and then I start hearing. I'm like, stop! It's like overflowing again. So like here we are, and this time it was like worse. So I had to go upstairs, turn off like the washer. Like thankfully it was almost done, but it was still like sopping wet. And like, I
So
was
there's
just
a lot of
like,
water coming from the washer.
Yeah.
So I'm going back in, I'm bailing water and throwing out the front
Doing the
door.
whole thing again.
This time I had the shop back from our neighbor, so like that helped, but it was still bailing water and throwing it out the front door.
Yeah. So then once we got that done and we like cleared out all like the whole entire toilet again of water, like gun. He like ran the sink in there and he was like, "Oh, it's fine." Like, okay. And then I was like,
Yeah, the sink didn't do anything.
I was
So
like,
weird.
maybe there's like a clog from like upstairs to down here. And so I went upstairs.
I just don't understand how the sink worked.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe because it didn't have as much water. I don't know.
But
Maybe
everything
because it
else
was, like, small.
everything else was connected.
Yeah.
So the
So
toilet,
basically,
like
I like
all
flushed the
bathrooms,
toilet upstairs and then
just to test it.
and I was like, "Yep, this is it." So we
Bailing
basically,
water.
we basically just couldn't flush the toilets. So I thankfully like one of our neighbors, I was like, "Can I drop off towels for you to wash so we can get them in the morning?"
So we're carrying these like buckets of
towel, like 5-gallon buckets.
soaking towels across the street at like 11 o'clock.
It was like,
being
it was like
can
10:30.
Can we wash these in your washer?
So thankfully, and then he went and got them. But thankfully, like we knew not to flush the toilet, and our 5-year-old thankfully did not flush the toilet that night either.
She doesn't remember 90% of the time anyways.
So it just
so that's
worked out.
one benefit.
So anyways, the plumber comes out the next day.
And he goes through. Well, I was in a couple of meetings.
Yeah,
But he
you
like
had
snaked
meetings
it
and appointments.
and ran like a camera through it and everything to try to see what it was, and because like we were wondering like maybe one of our daughters dropped a toy down the toilet or something like
We were convinced like maybe somehow a toy got down here. Like we don't know how because they're really careful and like don't do that, but maybe like they're kids.
And what do you think clogged the toilet, and what do you think clogged the main sewage line to the road?
Nothing that you would ever guess.
Roots.
Roots from the grass.
Roots.
It was constricting the pipe. Like
It was in the pipe.
It was in the pipe. Like, it
and
embedded
actually
itself
broke
into the pipe.
So whenever they built the house, a lot of the new builds here they just threw up really quick. The pipe going out has like a maintenance pipe to it in one sense, and that maintenance pipe that stuck into it wasn't even glued. So when the guy came, he was like trying to unscrew it, and he just like pulled the whole pipe off, and he was like, "Oh, that's the problem." And what it done is the roots had actually gotten into the cracks because it wasn't glued. It got into the cracks of the pipe and grown down in there so much that it actually split the pipe down below and then filled up the pipe. And so then the pipe was clogged with roots and grass and dirt.
So, at least, at the end of the day, I was like, well, at least it was nothing to.
At least it wasn't our fault.
Yeah. It was
Nothing
not
that
our
we
fault.
flushed.
Nothing that we flushed down the toilet. So I was like, because I was like sitting here thinking, I was like, what could possibly be clogging our toilet? Like, I was like, what is happening?
So that's been our life recently.
Yep.
So
and then back it up the day before.
That was the clog, but that was why we didn't record on.
Yeah. So
Thursday.
by the time we got done cleaning all of that, it was literally like 10:30, 10:45, and we were like, yeah, no, this is not happening.
I think it was later, but
Yeah. I was like, this is not happening. So.
And what was the day before? Oh, the day before.
And then, 2 days before.
The mowers came and they're like going around. All of a sudden, I hear like a knock on the door, and I'm thinking maybe I didn't unlock the gate or I forgot something. But I went to the door and he's like, so we had an accident. I walked out, and the entire back window pane of my car is completely in like a bazillion different cracks.
Pieces, yep.
And they were weed eating or trimming like the edge, and it like hit a rock and it like went right through the glass. So that kind of messed up some of my plans of using my car the next day, which it all worked out. But the guy was like, do you want to call somebody or do you want me to call someone? I'm like, well, if you're offering, then yeah, go ahead and
Please
call someone.
because I do not have time in my schedule.
But I came back in and you asked, you're like, are you okay? Like, you seem frustrated. And I there was a piece of me that like, I don't know, I was kind of disconnected from it in a way that not that I didn't care, like it was an inconvenience, but I also wasn't upset.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was a new piece for me. That really has been a lot of work that's been happening even over the past couple of months, but just like a piece of being able to disconnect and being able to look at something that seems like a problem or an issue and thinking like it's not that big of a deal, or thinking like it's a good thing, or it's like something that's positive instead of looking at it from like a negative. Like a lot of reframing that I've been doing in a lot of different areas of life. But yeah, it kind of came to a place that I was just like, okay, like
Yeah.
I didn't really get upset. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I think for us it was just kind of like, okay, well, you know, one, that at least they're willing to like own up to it and replace it themselves. Like they like, you know.
But if we went back 6 months ago, would I have had that response?
You probably would have been a little ticked, maybe.
Or a year ago?
Yeah, probably at least a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think too, like we were just like, well, at least like also it was like a huge blessing that it wasn't my car because we use my car way more than you use yours. Like because you just had to use my car to go to jujitsu and then you dropped us off at co-op and you just used the car. But yeah, so it worked out. But yeah.
But it's just another.
I think you're just kind of like
piece.
more, not like bummed. Like I think you're just like, well, that throws a wrench in my plans, but it's fine. Like I'll just switch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it just felt different. It felt different than what it had in the past.
I think you would have got more annoyed in the past, not at the fact that your window broke, but at the fact that your plans had to be changed. Like
right. That I was like inconvenienced.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah. Totally makes sense. Well, speaking of inconvenienced, it was definitely an inconvenience when our babysitter canceled and we went from having our adventure date of the month, which was going to be going to escape room, and I'd scheduled this escape room like a couple weeks before. I tried to be planning one out each month where we're doing like one date that's like something that's different or something that's just like kind of trying to pull us out of our bubble. Which now I'm saying I don't remember what we did for like February or something.
We did pottery.
Oh yeah, we did
Oh
pottery.
yeah, those should be like almost done, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Probably need to like call.
We might need to call them. But we did pottery, so that was cool. I don't think we talked about that on a podcast, did we?
No, because we haven't recorded.
Because we haven't recorded forever. But yeah.
Yeah, so we did pottery. That was really fun.
So we did a pottery class. It was just kind of an entry level pottery class. What was your experience of that? Because we both had no clue walking into it because we've never done anything like that before. A pottery, like the wheel one where we're molding it.
I really enjoyed it. I think one because like I'm very like artsy and creative anyways. So it was like something that I like enjoyed, and I think I told you I was like it felt like it was good for me to be able to like disconnect because I had to focus on that, and like I have a hard time like not having something like I'm thinking about like the next thing that I need to do, or like something about the girls, or something about my schedule, or like whatever. And so like it was actually like a focus time for me not to like think about anything except for the pottery, because like if you did it too long, then your pottery could like fall apart, or if you did it a certain way, then like something could happen. So it was like you had to really like just be focused on like being intentional of like how you moved your hands and things like that. So I thought it was like really fun, and yeah,
I thought it was fun too. I think for me, I wanted to just like keep messing with it.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just like mess with it, like mash it together, pull it apart, like that kind of thing. I think it was fun. Just it was constructively playing with dirt, right?
Yeah.
It's basically. What it was. But we had fun with that. We got to make 2 different type bowls. So basically, we have like new salsa bowls coming.
Yeah.
At least mine are like salsa bowls.
Well, yours are more like salsa bowls. Mine's like kind of like dishes.
Yeah, like plate bowls.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, so that was cool. That was something that was different. But yeah, just trying to figure out the goal this year is trying to do, we do weekly dates. Sometimes they're family dates just because of babysitter issues right now. But we
right now our sitter's been getting called into work a lot.
But we do weekly dates, and then we also been trying to do like these like different like adventure dates, which are just different dates that are trying to pull us out of our normal or do something different. So one of them that we hadn't done in a while, and the last times we'd ever done like escape rooms had always been with people. So we were like, well, this would be like new doing it.
A group of people.
Yeah, just with like the 2 of us. And then it was just the 2 of us. So it ended up being one of those things that it was like, well, we can't really cancel it because I already paid for it, and we might as well just go. And hey, by the way, we're bringing a 9-month-old and a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it wasn't a scary one. Like they had scary ones there, but it wasn't a scary one that we planned. It was like a CIA adventure one. You're supposed to figure out how to get there, and then we got halfway through, and then it's like, oh, by the way, there's a bomb. Now you have to get like this on the bomb before.
Sophia had fun up until that part.
She was a little nervous at the beginning, and then she warmed up to it, and she was like, okay, because we tried to involve her. We're like, oh, here, like try this key,
try to find this, or
this.
like whatever, or like, can you go find this clue or something like that? Yeah, and then it wasn't until like she heard, she heard that.
You have
that
30
there
minutes
was-
before the bomb explodes.
Yeah. And this is when things just went south. Like,
She had some issues and she whined some throughout the rest of it, but she also didn't melt down. Like, it wasn't like the worst thing.
No, but this is just
but
when
it was like let's keep reassuring her. She's like, is it real? Like, or like
Right.
no, it's fake. It's pretend. So we're just trying to like
But I
comfort
just
her,
say
and
that
we're trying to like
because-
figure out the clues at the same time.
Yes. No, because this is when she was like getting like more like, is it real? Like, this is scary. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Are we going to be able to get out? Are we going to die? Like, she had like all these questions. We're trying to find clues. Then it's basically,
It's Bella's supper time, dinner
yes,
time.
because we ended up going to the wrong place.
We tell our stories too backwards. So I put it into the GPS, and for some reason I thought it was one direction, and the GPS pulled up like 4 different ones, and I just clicked on the one that I thought it was, and it wasn't. So instead of driving like 35 minutes, we drove about an hour, and then got to a fencing place in a shed in a sketchy neighborhood, and we're like, okay, this obviously is not, and if it is, we're not going. But so I pulled it up on maps, and I was like, why is this not? And it was a completely different place. So we had to drive another 40 minutes.
30. It was 30.
It's like 30 minutes, another direction, to be able to get to the place. So we called
So we're
ahead.
30 minutes late.
We were 30 minutes late.
So-
We called ahead, and they were like, it's fine. There's nobody, like, we can move it. Nobody behind you. And then they moved it. There was someone who was behind by, like, the next hour or whatever, but then it ended up working out.
They
so.
switched theirs, yeah. Anyways, but all
So we
that
had,
to
like, the
say-
first room that was good. And the first room was, like, it felt normal. It was, like, a travel agency, stuff like that. And then we found all the clues. We opened up the door into the second room. The second room was more of, like, a tactical. It had a computer. It
Yeah,
had,
like military ops room.
Yeah, looked like that. So then we went through that, and that's when it told us about the bomb. And then...
Bella started crying.
And that
needing
was like the
food.
harder part, because then it was, the clues were like on the computer, and you had to go through, and they were very like technical clues.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to concentrate trying to figure it out. Sophia's whining and Bella's crying, and we're trying to like swap back and forth.
Trying to figure out these like clues. So then we finally figured
Thankfully,
it
the
out.
lady gave us a hint one time, because it was so loud from like the music and then the stuff that was happening in the room, and then both our daughters.
Oh,
She was
yeah,
like,
we
did
did-
you see this? And
or
there was
hear
like
this or something.
Yeah, there was like a trap door thing that popped down, or that we could see that was underneath. We just never heard it
because
it was
it was so loud. Like there was so much commotion.
Like that.
And so finally we got that, and then we got out of.
We opened up the safe, and there was like a rubber hand, and Sophia was a little freaked out about that. And I was like, let's just ignore that there's a hand there, and here's the key that's on the hand, and we'll put the hand over here.
Yeah, but I needed to use the hand, and so you just like escorted her around because I had to like use it to like figure out like the
Yeah.
handprint. Anyways, all that to say
But
is
then
we
the third
finally
door
got
opened.
Yeah, the third door opened, and then it was like basically pitch black with like black lights.
Sophia was like, are
And
we going to be
Sophia
stuck
was
here
like,
forever?
"Are we gonna be stuck in this room? Is the doors gonna shut?" And I was like, "No, we're not gonna be stuck in this room." And so she's like still like panicked.
I don't like this, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, she's getting a little bit more panicked because like time is ticking, and then finally we figure out all the clues, and we had like 4 minutes left. But I was like, you know what? Despite all of our circumstances, we still escaped with 4 minutes left. Had we not had kids, it would have probably been way sooner, but that's okay.
I think
Because
the
at
hardest
end
was
of
when
the day-
the hardest was when we were trying to do the computer, and at that point I think we were like overstimulated too, because like we didn't get upset at each other, but we could start feeling like frustrated with each other, because like at times with everything happening,
we were just like
it was
miscommunicating, because
it was
I was like, I'm doing this, and you're like, no, you're not, and I was like, yes, I am. Like, you have to go in this order.
Yeah. That was
But
one
we didn't
thing.
there wasn't like an argument.
But that was
or
something that we've grown to realize even more. And I was curious too. I was like, are all parents? Because you said all parents get overstimulated. And I was like,
At
I don't
some
know.
point.
So I feel like some parents can like turn a switch and just like disconnect.
I mean, I feel like those are just like.
But like when we're
anomalies
driving
or
down the
something.
road, and Sophia's like, Bella's crying, and Sophia's singing at the top of her lungs, and Kayla's trying to talk, and there's music going, and like all this other stuff, it can be very overstimulating.
It's funny because,
we both
like,
are triggered that way.
We switch back and forth. Sometimes we both are overstimulated, and we're just like, all right, silence. But then other days it's just like, I'm like, well, this is our life, and I start busting out laughing, and you're more like, and then
I don't laugh about it.
Yeah, and then sometimes it switches because then
sometimes it is. But it typically is like when it's complementing each other. So like if I'm in a place where I can't handle it, that's when you normally like start to laugh, and when you're at a place where you can't handle it, then that's when I normally start to laugh.
Yeah,
it's very every once in a while, but it's like very rare that we're both overstimulated the same exact way, or we have the same exact response to it. Thankfully. Yeah. At least we've grown in that.
There's probably like maybe like once, max twice a month where we both are like really overstimulated and we're like, all right, silence, like quiet. But typically for the most part, it like switches back and forth.
Yeah.
It's just.
So that's been a little bit of our life with the drama, right, of everything that's been going on. But it's been good. There's been a lot of different things that we've been working on just in our own communication, in talking to each other. We've been doing like weekly meetings on Mondays to try to set the tone for the week, kind of talk through where we are financially, emotionally, connected wise.
Yeah.
Some weeks it's really great, and some weeks it's not. There's weeks where it's like a breeze, and we're just kind of like, well, that was easy. And then there's breezes where it's like, let's just argue the whole time until we talk with counseling and get it figured out. But like learning how to be able to...
And again, it just comes down to
connect
communication.
And communicate, yeah. A big piece. Well, I'd say now it's miscommunication, but oftentimes like early on I would blame it on miscommunication when it was just me being an asshole.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about now.
Well, yeah, I was just then, like, now it's completely different as far as like, you're saying one thing, I'm saying one thing, and we might be saying the same thing, but we're just speaking in different languages.
Yeah,
pretty much. So, I feel like that none of that had a point or a lesson to it, but
it was just more just like, here's the reality of our lives.
Our life is weird and wild and crazy, and
sometimes it would be nice if we just had like just our camera like going all the time. Like this, you would probably laugh at us.
With a crazy life comes crazy things that happen, and with big dreams come crazy challenges as well along the way. And so we've been just noticing and realizing the more and more we grow and develop, the more and more God's calling us just to dream big and to think bigger and farther and further ahead. And that often means that there's going to be different challenges that come along the way that are interesting, to say the least. So some of those are already here that we've already experienced, and some are more to come. With big dreams also comes big responsibility and big challenges along the way. So as we go, we can just continue to work on growing, developing, and try to be able to share some of our life stories and our struggles inside of here. That's part of the goal just of the podcast, just to be able to communicate real life and what's going on. So we'd love to be able to hear from y'all. That'd be a big piece just inside of this. So feel free to be able to message us on Trauma, Drama, and Life Podcast, our Instagram account, or just send us an email at ben@rawmotivations.com. Otherwise, I think that's about it for tonight. I'm getting tired.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Time to wrap up for tonight. So
it's our bedtime.
Anyways,
it's actually past our bedtime.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
So we wrap up.
That was just pretty much last month.
Sounds good. Life is always going to hand us a lot of crazy stuff, and it's just learning how to be able to roll with it in different ways so that it doesn't impact us negatively, and we're able to take whatever things that look negative and switch them into a positive to be able to show up the best way possible. So that's the goal, that's the plan, and we'll continue to do that for as long as we can. So
sounds good.
Awesome. Well, y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next episode of Trauma